My name's Collin Smoke, and I'm in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
When Collin was born, we knew that he probably had Hemophilia A, and we knew that it would be severe because of my family's history. My mom had 8 children. Out of the 8 children, 3 of the boys were found to have Hemophilia A, which is a clotting disorder. One bled to death many years ago, and they didn't know what hemophilia was. The other 2 had received a clotting factor that was derived from whole blood, and they developed AIDS in the 80s, and they died from that. Even before I had Collin, I knew that there was a 50-50 chance that he would have hemophilia. But when he was 2, he started to have bleeds. And the one bleed that finally put us into getting a port in his chest, he bit his tongue. And immediately that took me back to my older brother. He bit his tongue. When Collin was 7 years old, he developed scoliosis. Normally they start looking for that at around 6th grade, but he was younger because I have scoliosis.
So they put him in a brace, and we actually thought the brace was working. It got worse.
Then when we found out that it was progressing very rapidly, we need another opinion. We had that information for about 2 weeks, and then he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
So the brace was actually getting smaller on him because of weight loss.
And then he had a growth spurt, and the scoliosis became much worse.
If you see an x-ray of his curve, it's like looking underneath your kitchen sink. It goes like this and goes around and up like that.
Everything was just so perfectly lined up to have everything that could possibly go wrong happen all at once.
Within a few months, he was to the point where he needed surgery. We passed a lot of hospitals to go to Englewood Hospital because the majority of them don't have the bloodless medicine surgery departments. They don't have them. Or they have some form of them, but it falls apart at the end, and they want to give you blood anyway.
His problems were several. Number one, he's a Jehovah's Witness, so he won't accept blood. On top of that, he's an insulin-dependent diabetic, and on top of that, that really makes it far more difficult is he has a severe case of hemophilia. The problem with these spine surgeries, these large scoliosis surgeries, is that they will lose blood during surgery. It comes with the territory.
This was a little unique to several individuals here. It's not a routine case, but at the same time we had a core group that preoperatively we met with and had everybody on board with what the plan was.
When he was examining me, we talked about everything, and he just said, no, that's no problem. We'll work around that, it's no problem.
The work that went through, the phone calls they made, and the way they made us feel just so comfortable. It's just, you can't describe it.
This case went so smoothly, we did it at one sitting. There was not significant blood loss, and all of his medical issues were handled perfectly. He didn't turn a hair. He did beautifully.
He was up and walking around, I believe post-op day number 1, and was walking the halls of the intensive care unit.
The one outstanding feature of the Bloodless Medicine program was that although it was initially developed to help Jehovah's Witness patients, the principles we learned now apply to everybody. It actually benefited all patients.
As a nurse, the level of care that I saw there was exceptional.
Everything they did is just unfathomable. I don't have words to describe.
He said within a year, Collin can do anything he wants to do. He could even play contact sports if he wanted to. His back would be that heel. So it's nice to know that he shouldn't have any limitations at all.
It's only gonna get better. I mean, if I'm better at this point, it's just gonna keep getting better and better and better.
From driving home from the one hospital and being so upset, and then driving home from that doctor's appointment, totally different. It was, oh wow, we can get this done. It was worth it to go to Englewood, to go that hour and a half, and we would go further because of the level of care. It's the best.
It was definitely worth it. It was worth everything.